You'll find little welcome here, Jedi. For your own good, I recommend you speak to Administrator Adare, quickly finish your business in Khoonda, and go. I will answer your questions. She was the agricultural administrator of Dantooine. After the Sith attack, she kept us together. Without her, the only thing you'd see around here are mercenaries. We had problems with Mandalorian mercenaries even before the Jedi Civil War. The Jedi helped clear most of the problem up, but after the war, many soldiers from both sides of the conflict became mercenaries. And since we're so far from the core, some started gathering here. The difference between an out-of-work mercenary and a raider is a vibroblade's edge. The only thing we can prove they've done is intimidate a few farmers. The farmers give them goods, money, or food just to stay on their good side. The only one that isn't scared of them is the Administrator. There have also been a lot of disappearances recently, and not all of them can be blamed on calf hounds. But nobody can prove the mercenaries are responsible. A farmer here and there, or a family. We lost enough people during the war that keeping the calf hound and Kinrath populations under control hasn't been possible. So there are a lot of animal attacks. Some deaths, too. The disappearances might be just coincidence, but a lot of the stubborn folks seem to be more accident-prone. Khoonda is the big building just outside the landing port. It used to be the estate of a man named Matale, but he and his family disappeared around the time of the bombardment. The Administrator rebuilt it, and now this is our center of government. I know it doesn't look like much, but there aren't many settlers that live on this planet. This building is the start of something new for us. We're very proud of it. We're working on it. Is there anything else you'd want to talk about? Just head into the building and you'll find your way to the Administrator. I'll be over by the entrance if you need anything else.
Is mine.
Fandibo Gelfa, Papuelta, Inatruf, Oisidan Gelfa, Badinogan Gelfa, Tudentruf Blava, Fandibo Gelfa, Oisidan Gelfa, Badinogan Gelfa, Papuelta, Rentundas, Oisidan Gelfa, Papuelta, Rentundas, Oisidan Gelfa, Papuelta. Tudentruf Blava, Papuelta. Sidan Elfa var inugan Elfa. Linda Khoonda. Khoondan Elfa. Oi Sidan Elfa. Sidan Elfa var inugan Elfa. Linda Khoonda. Khoondan Elfa. Oi Sidan Elfa. Sidan Elfa var inugan Elfa. Linda Khoonda. Khoondan Elfa. Oi Sidan Elfa. Sidan Elfa var inugan Elfa. Linda Khoonda. Khoonda. Abuelta. Khoonda Vandibu Elfa. Khoonda. Vandibu Elfa. Oi Sidan Elfa var inugan Elfa. Abuelta. Rengundas. Oi Sidan Elfa. Abuelta. Rengundas. Oi Sidan Elfa. Abuelta. Khoonda. Sidan Elfa. Sidan Elfa.
What do you want? I don't have time for cursed salvagers. Can't you tell? I'm a mechanic. In fact, I'm the only mechanic here in Khoonda. I'm responsible for maintaining everything mechanical or electrical at the Kunda Outpost. Yeah, sometimes it seems nothing works around here, but I don't have time to complain. Too much work to do. You're right. Well, between the droids, the security doors, and the gun turrets, I have my hands full. All of the droids in Khoonda are relics from the last war. Most of them are damaged and rusted. Best I could do was get that ratchety old protocol droid over there operational so it could greet visitors. Most of the other droids are laying broken around Kunda Outpost. Well, it's just one door, actually, but I could scratch my head bald before I figured out how to fix it proper. Problem is, the side security door to Khoonda was damaged in the war. Every time I try to fix it, the door either sticks open or it locks down completely. And then I have to spend a week taking it apart to get it to open or close again. The gun turrets outside the Kunda Outpost are supposed to defend against potential assaults, wild critters and the like. But they only work half the time. And sometimes they get confused as to what's friend and foe. Why, just the other day, right after I repaired one of the guns, it turned on a sorry group of militiamen returning from a patrol. No casualties, but it put several of them in the med lab. And I can't seem to fix the blasted medical droid either. Is this going to take long? Salvagers are a crazed lot of treasure hunters, looking to loot something of value from the ruins of the Jedi Enclave. Most of them end up broke, or dead. If you ask me, anything of value that was in the Enclave has already been plundered. Nothing but rumor. They say the spirits of the angry dead haunt the ruins. On a quiet night, you can hear the ghosts howling and scraping around. Oh, you know, the folks around Khoonda. Go there yourself and get the details firsthand. You'll find the Kunda Outpost just outside the landing port. Is this going to take long? Not sure what they're doing here other than causing trouble. There's not really much work here for mercenaries. Maybe they're here to collect the bounty on that Jedi. I don't know for sure. That's what they say. Is this going to take long?
Hey, get away from that door! The last time somebody messed with it, it was locked down for months before we could fix it.
Charanana gundoso remina che l'orakto guru katpada. Fiadra toran pada no ringatel camarada tel fibu nubu de veterana cenirara. Manama treto sobre barakto drun. Cresce mentru gre bavano flank tur na saganich. Grava no ku se tabate. Trawinsto sobotuto neliep green patata. Trawinsto busuto neliep gran patata. Tele ronda nana nintolo gradatira. Tele wana jun konata della raguno tuna. Dai rinto ro kavre kare papanara ranshinga. Terace wemeno totorere sene senten. Der rinto runto wakavre kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan gorsada nane gra dalono tacholoren. Der rinto runto wakavre kwe wapa teratana chingaradana. Fera rampada no de ringtada nel camera cella fibo no bodat. Dosene karamala blur incidera mel rebe chinchin kranaktada. Der rinto runto wakavre kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan gorsada gra dalono tacholoren. Tere wana jun konata della raguno tuna. Dai rinto run kavre kare papanala ranshinga. Terace wemeno totorere sene senten. Der rinto runto wakavre kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan gorsada nane gra dalono tacholoren. Der interrunto wakere kwe wapater tanan chingaradana. Fera rampada no de ringtada nel camera cella fibor no bodat. Dosane karamala blur incidera mel rebebe chinchin kranaktada. Der interrunto wakere kwe wapgerebu. Nenso telepachan corsadarane gra dalonuta choloren. Terewana jun konata della raguno antuna. Dai interrunto kawre kare papanala ranchinga. Derace wemeno totorere senisensen. Der interrunto wakere kwe wapgerebu. Nenso telepachan corsadarane gra dalonuta choloren. Der interrunto wakere kwe wapater tanan chingaradana. Fera rampada no de ringtada nel camera cella fibor no bodat. Dosane karamala blur incidera mel rebebe chinchin kranaktada. Der interrunto wakere kwe wapgerebu. Nenso telepachan corsadarane gra dalonuta choloren. Terewana jun konata della raguno antuna. Dai interrunto kawre kare papanala ranchinga. Derace wemeno totorere senisensen. Relive corondosa mele grima con corre gimbasa. Rechu contrada suma con cere non grum. Geractada cemense bingar rukutoto und chuchur remananza. Der interrunto wakere kwe wapgerebu. Nenso telepachan corsadarane gra dalonuta choloren.
Just say the word.
How may I serve?
If you've got some time, I'd like to see what I can upgrade for you.
Yes, I do have a few moments to spare for your work. I would like to know what he is doing here, though.
He helps me out with repairs. That isn't a problem, is it?
I suppose not. Perhaps in working on my circuitry, your assistant will learn something about how a fully functional droid is constructed.
Just ignore him and let's get to work.
I would appreciate that. Our group has little in the way of time to spare, and I would not want to delay you from your other duties.
Right. Let's get you open. See what you can do. I have to say, you are put together quite well. That wasn't much to do.
As I told you, my design is streamlined and efficient, though I am pleased that you were able to make some improvements, and this was not just a waste of my valuable time.
There were a few things from my remote that I was able to integrate into your construction.
I see. Well, thank you. I'll let you get back to your work.
Do you actually believe a Jedi would return here? After all they've done to us? They wouldn't dare.
They certainly would. You remember how they were. Always so superior, so arrogant, and never lending a hand when we really needed them.
I still don't believe it.
You should. My cousin's friend, he used to tend the gardens around the Enclave. He swears he saw a Jedi in Kunda. Could be hiding anywhere.
Well, I hope it's true. I hear there's a bounty on them, and we could certainly use the money.
Unless somebody beats you to it.
The salvagers keep coming here. If it weren't for the Jedi, we'd be a prosperous community. They brought us nothing.
Welcome to Kunda. You're a salvager, right? You'll need to see Administrator Adare to get access to the ruins. If you need directions to anything else, just ask. Her office is directly behind this room. You really can't miss it. She can see you now if you like. You're not. The only heavily armed people that visit us are either salvagers or mercenaries. And you don't look quite gritty enough to be a mercenary. The things that would most interest you are our weapon merchant Anzeron, the leader of our militia. Akari is still around here somewhere too. He sells droid components. Just go to the central corridor and make a right. His shop is the first on the right. If you get into any trouble, he's the person you'd contact. Unfortunately, recent problems with the salvagers and mercenaries have kept him quite busy. The mercenaries cause disruptions for some of our outlying settlers. They are a constant source of friction for us. I hear the salvagers are having some internal problems too. No, I couldn't. If you're really interested in that, just speak to Zeron. Certainly. What do you want to know?
Are you waiting for the Administrator too? You won't have to wait too long. But if you want results, now that you may never get here. Khoonda's like a droid without his power cell. Useless. We have problems all over, and the most you can get out of the Administrator is a pat in the back. I'm sick of all their excuses and empty words. I need justice now. I fought in the war, and I know how to use my blaster rifle. If the Administrator or Zeron doesn't do something, then I will. Salvagers are the problem. They strip bare the ruins that belong to the people of Dantooine. Then, they sell what they find back to us at inflated prices. I'm not a violent man. I've had my share of it in the war. I sincerely hoped I could just hang my blaster rifle on the wall as a souvenir for my grandchildren. But I can't farm without my equipment. Well, yes and no. I brought my moisture vaporator to Kunda to be serviced. On the way back to my farm, I took a shortcut next to the Enclave ruins. Damn laigreks came out of nowhere. I had to run before they made a meal of me. When I returned to retrieve my equipment, the salvagers had already stripped it bare. I went to their camp to get back my moisture vaporator. This smug fellow Jorran told me that he found it within the ruins, and by law, it belongs to him now. He said he'd give it to me for the bargain price of 500 credits. I wasn't very happy about it, but the law was on his side. So I paid this scoundrel. Now the moisture vaporator doesn't work because it is mysteriously missing its modulator. Jorran is offering to sell me a modulator pound for another 500 credits. I suppose you could. Actually, you almost look like a salvager. If you could go to this salvager camp and convince the salvager Jorran to return my modulator, I would be very grateful. I'm not rich, but I have some souvenirs from the war I could give you. It's right next to the ruins of the Jedi Enclave. Just follow the smell. You can't miss them. That's great. I'm certainly not getting any help around here. If you need to know anything more, just ask me.
Your luck is not of the hapless settler. You are the newcomer that lands in a battered ship. Yes. No friendly greetings are here for you. You act like I have insulted your man. Your ship I haven't seen, but if it takes after you, it can't be in perfect condition. I am done being inconvenienced by you. Another interruption. You must not have heard who I am. Waste another's time, not mine.
What brings you to Kunda? Do you have any troubles to report? I'm here to help. I just hope you aren't here about Garivek. I'll tell you anything that's public knowledge. Most militia news passes by me and Zeron. I might be able to help. Oh, you heard about that. We have so much to look into that Sulru's concern is pretty low on our list. We asked the salvagers, but they claim that the salvager responsible is nowhere to be found. You should see Administrator Adare about that. She'll be able to set you up. You're not a typical salvager, so I don't expect you'll have any trouble there. Oh, you heard? I've heard that rumor too. People get really riled up about Jedi around here. Some people seem to have a selective memory. During the war, the Jedi were a big help here. They did everything for us, from clearing out dangerous beasts to solving a murder investigation. I try to stay out of it, though. Standing up for Jedi is one way to become unpopular around here. Maybe. Although I don't know why a Jedi would come back here. The only reason why people ever came here before was the Enclave. And with that gone... Easy to say for someone that doesn't live here. I'd rather grab an unshielded power coupling than get involved in that debate. The militia's dealing with enough already. You're not wrong there. For what good it'll do, if it comes up, I'll say what I think is right. You happy? I hope so. You may be my only friend in a few days. Talking about Jedi is just depressing. Any other cheerful problems you want to talk about? I'm here to help. What do you need? Well, call me a defective protocol droid. Manners, right. I'm Barun Modril. I'm Captain Zeron's right-hand man. I help run the militia here. Well, that makes it sound more important than I am. Zeron takes a hands-on role in running the militia. If you have any real trouble, you'd have to go to him anyway. This is sensitive. It's not really a secret, though. A lot of people are upset with Zeron. He's a hard man and doesn't answer to anybody. Except, I suppose, the Administrator. The thing is, he expects everyone to follow all the laws. That's not normally a bad thing, but the Mercenaries are used to having a bit more freedom. So, it's like Zeron keeps prodding a Rancor with a stun stick. To a Rancor, it's just a minor nuisance. But if you keep at it, he's gonna fight back. The Mercenaries aren't unreasonable. They're mostly just war veterans looking for work. But Zeron just keeps poking them. So he has to get involved to make sure that the militia does what he wants. Otherwise, we'd probably give the Mercenaries some room. It's tricky. You see, I think Zeron may be taking this whole thing a little personal. I'm not sure. Just a guess. I also think he's doing more to provoke them than just investigating every complaint against them hard. He's up to something. If someone could just ask a few questions, turn up some answers, maybe see if Zeron isn't being completely honest with the rest of us, well then maybe he should be replaced. Just look around. See if Zeron's up to something on the side. Something that'll hurt the fragile peace we got with the Mercenaries. So if you happen to find something out like that, you should see Administrator Adare. If you have to do some footwork to check into things, you'll be compensated. We should probably talk about something else. I hate going behind the captain's back. I just feel... I just have a feeling about it. I don't even want to get into it. Ask around if you want to know the details. It'll just make my headache worse if I talk about it. I don't know what we'd do without Administrator Adare. She managed to plow through a lot of the family bickering once the Sith left during the war. She's kept us together. Oh, and, Zeron too, I suppose. This is... The thing is, So, it's like the mercenaries aren't... So he has to get in... Maybe. It's hard to say. They meet a lot, but it seems to me they let each other alone for the most part. I'm sure there's a lot going on with the militia that the Administrator doesn't even know about. It's tricky. You see, I also think if someone could... I don't want to be made captain that way, but if my hunch is right, he's just about the worst person to leave in charge. So if you happen to find something out like... We should probably talk... All right, stay out of trouble now.
Tochi monas runta, yun bola, watagratonchi mulira, pitasa cantone tosha. Poso ma britushni pamba, bora, dino morira nibonon, kin un bato koktek. Poso ma britushni pamba, bora, dino morira nibonon, kin un bato koktek. Poso ma britushni pamba, bora, dino morira nibonon, kin un bato koktek. Fasa susho wi, kana ina doka ches, kapata rondi losa chi rana dikpik, na ji ka chi a ubangta, hoshmanfu ni wado de kuta ma sapa, tong hitwama ji, yuma liba to atong into tune, doki ni kama renzo ni inash di jon bla wenso mas, tong abaw shan uni nong, dawanga nochi, roren manama, kochpa ino shan opora. Chauduso jamara, chorhep donich, dorshati, rengotish, bogra chiun cuba, gratok wikili jane.
I'm the militia captain here. Are you here because you're in trouble or looking for it? Talk to Baroon first. If your situation needs militia involvement, he'll send you my way. You got any other reason for coming to militia headquarters? Rare thing a visitor wanting to help out. Looks to me like you're here to explore the Jedi ruins. But we have a thing or two that need doing. You seriously want to help, just ask about it. Or any other questions you might have. You want something? I've seen a lot of visitors come through Kunda. You're the first one in a while that looks the capable sort. We have a small problem with Kinrath. Maybe you've already seen some of them. They're coming from a cave in the Kunda Plains. I'd take care of it myself, but there aren't many people in the militia. We'd lose too many men. There's a reward if you do it. Kinrath are normally just pests. We think something happened to their nest. Started near the end of the Civil War. Nobody knows for sure. Even the Ithorian. And they're smart about such things. Very. The Kinrath you see on the plains aren't as tough as the ones inside the caves. They may not look much different, but they are tough. $2,000 credits. I agree with you, but I don't barter. I got more important things to do. We used some explosives to seal a cave a couple years back. Just made them angrier. They burrowed another entrance even closer to us. I know there are crystals in there too. Some of the salvagers once thought about going in there to get some extra credits. Too many Kinrath though. Cave is on the southeast side of the plains. Shouldn't be hard to find. That's all I can ask. You want something? Some of the salvagers went deep into the ruins and found a lot of Jedi relics. It's the most valuable all the salvagers ever got. But all the salvagers that went down there are dead. So it seems every day or so some salvager comes claiming they're owed by such and such, or that they're related. The whole thing makes me sick. Garvik says he won the whole claim in a Pazak game with the last survivor, right before he killed him. But that was a fair fight. There were witnesses, but nobody remembers Garvik ever playing Pazak. I just hope someone takes this blasted claim off my hands. I'm tired of those lowlives pestering me. We've got real work to do. You want something? You really should talk to Barun about general questions. There aren't more than a dozen of us, and there's too many problems. People keep hoping that the Republic sends help. We gotta help ourselves. She's smart. She gets things done. The whole place would fall apart without her. Dantooine isn't the center of much anything. Our most talented people sometimes leave. Hard for someone to stay a farmer when they have the itch to do something greater. So we're lucky the Administrator never went elsewhere. I bet she'd make a decent senator, even. It's our home. Might be the start of an honest capital someday. Right now, it's not much more than a swoop bike stop. I don't have anything to say about that. You want something?
Just say the word.
Something up?
All right. A visitor. Please, come in. Welcome to Kunda. I am Administrator Adare. You're the owner of the, ship that just landed? Depending on your business here, the pleasure may be mutual, but you didn't answer my question. Is that ship yours? And unless I'm much mistaken, that's the Ebon Hawk. That vessel has been on Dantooine before, during the war. That was a Jedi vessel. That is an unfortunate truth, and a wise request, which of course I will honor. Most settlers here hold bitter memories of the Sith occupation. Right or wrong, our settlers blame the Jedi and their hidden enclave for their suffering. I remember the old Jedi Masters and the considerable help they lent to Dantooine. I still maintain discreet connections with Jedi. I suppose your arrival here is no coincidence. My friend, let's just call him Vrook. We've known each other for many years, and our continued friendship could create many problems in the current political climate. He came to Dantooine not too long ago. He was looking into something quite important. He's gone missing recently. Did he send for you in case something went wrong? Vrook and I had a mutually beneficial arrangement for several weeks. He went to the Jedi Enclave Sublevel recently and hasn't returned. I know the Sublevel is dangerous. I'm starting to fear the worst. Would you be willing to go to the ruins of the Enclave to look for him? We are fortunate that you've come. Don't expect it to be easy, though. Things rarely are with Jedi. I will have one of the militia transmit permissions to the Enclave's security door. Go expecting danger, for you will most certainly find it there. Is there anything else I can assist you with? What have you learned, Jedi?
Everyone down!
What? You shouldn't sneak up on an old fella like that. You shouldn't be out of here anyway. This is Kinrath territory. A couple weeks back, there was an accident here. One of the Western Fringe farmers was coming to Khoonda on his swoop with a load of atmospheric sensors. We found him dead and his swoop bike all banged up. I've come back a couple of times to try to figure out if that's what really happened. I'm one of the Khoonda militia. They need all the able bodies they can get. I was a Republic custom inspector before I came back home. Now I'm the closest thing the militia's got to an investigator. I do. The Kinrath are dangerous, but as long as you stay on your swoop bike, there's no way they should catch you. I've carefully searched this area and haven't found anything. So maybe our man just got sloppy. We really need those atmospheric sensors. I don't suppose you'd be willing to keep an eye out for something, hmm? It's technical. I doubt you'd understand it, but I'd really appreciate your help. I doubt you'll be able to find any evidence of what happened here, but you might come across the atmospheric sensors. They have to be somewhere. If you find any of them, just come back here. I'll pay you 1,000 credits for each one you can find, even if they're broken. No idea whatsoever. I figure it's a real long shot you'd ever spot one, but I also figure it wouldn't hurt to ask.
Everyone down! More where that came from.
You are no match for us. Soon you shall know me.
Time to take you down to size.
Your thoughts are disturbed. I can feel them from a great distance, like a shiver running through you.
Echoes. I feel echoes of the Force here.
Force-sensitive locations such as this absorb and reflect Force energy. The crystals are the catalyst here. I sense that Revan once passed through here, leaving a strong impression behind in the crystals. Perhaps future Jedi who visit this cave will feel our presence, as if seeing our footprints preserved in the soil. The crystals here do not drain Force energy from Jedi. They collect the excess energy that radiates from those attuned to the Force. The crystals here are infused with the Force. Some could be harvested and used for lightsabers.
Time to take you down to size.
I shall make this one see. Soon you shall know pain.
Time to take you down to size. Everyone down! More where that came from.
Crystal responds to you. This is very rare indeed. The crystal's bond with you is such that the stronger you become in the Force, the more powerful your crystal will grow. This crystal will make an excellent focus for a lightsaber. Quite the contrary. Picture yourself as a sieve, and the Force as water pouring into you. This crystal draws from the excess water that escapes the sieve. The crystal is in tune with you. It will use whatever water that pours through you, be it dark or light.
Yutapak mito, hai best nikta dochi mapao krawe nosha. What a lord chiba fuso vachila nuba chubanok. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wani maurata wakata chi luma lispa. Huta yanolia, jukta gene chuba wonki na jung winoton ma no miurita. Kavanatagalu, Kavanami Donkey Krato. Kavanatagalu, Kavanami Donkey Krato. Bram Tabanin Sochu. Da come Jusmak Miki Baranye dosos o Rika Chondin, wana magrable mogo. Yatuka wan Rika Chotin wani maurata wakata chi luma lispa. Bram Tabanin Sochu. Da come Jusmak Miki Baranye dosos o Rika Chondin, wana magrable mogo.
I hear you.
My life is yours.
It's you again. You once. He did he? What's this about? You can't compromise with those people. They're like Minox and a power converter, sucking the life out of us. So he's asked you to go looking into what I'm up to. If I didn't need every last man here. Appreciate. All right, I can use your help. But you can't tell anyone. There's a mercenary captain here, what's left of the Jedi Enclave's Courtyard. His name is Dopak. Just tell him that I said, go ahead. That's all. You have questions, but it's like this conversation never happened, got it? Just do it. It'll help out Kunda. We can talk more later.
I don't suppose you found any of those atmospheric sensors? That's great news. My offer still stands. I'll pay you 3,000 credits for all of them. It is worth more to us than that. I'll pay you 4,000 credits for the lot of them. Thanks for your help on this. Here are the credits, as promised. I'll get this to Zeron when I get back to Kunda.
It's you again. Well, you want some. So you did. Here's the credits I told you about. Even with the caves cleared, I imagine it'll take some time before the Kinrath aren't on the plains. That was very helpful of you. You saved some lives today. You want something?
time to even nod.
You are no match for us.
More where that came from.
You are no match for us.
You've wandered into the wrong camp. You got the look of a warrior, and we got all the blasters we need. If you're looking for work too, just take a trip spaceward. We don't need any more competition. Got it? What does the militia have to say to us? Any of our men get into trouble? I think that Zeron is 3 cards short of a Pazak deck. You can tell him you've delivered your message. Thanks. Now get out of here.
Can I help you? Just trying to make a living. At least there's still people in the galaxy who know our value. It's not glamorous work, but a man has to eat, right?
Smells like another salvager's come to our camp. Vacate, Mudlicker. Don't make me tell you again.
Ease off, Naylik. There's better sport than this one.
I don't need help to take out a Mudlicker. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You fighting any wars? I fought in the Jedi Civil War. I guess you don't look like much of a salvager. Sides don't matter much. We're all soldiers. Most of us mercenaries worked with the Sith. Not too many Republic soldiers survived the war. I thought you were one of those useless salvagers. Or perhaps an uppity settler. I've had about enough of their attitude. So I figured blasting one of them would have done me some good. It's been a while since we've had work. You were a soldier too, so you know I'm not gonna answer you. I want to answer your question. Oh, my head. I don't know for sure. I hear rumors. I heard we got a secret job working with some powerful organization. No one tells me who. I know we're planning an attack soon, but I don't know against who. They aren't too far, though, because we're expecting to attack soon. We're preparing to attack soon, so they have to be in this sector of the galaxy. They've been very quiet about who the enemy is. I don't feel so well. I feel dizzy. I gotta go now.
You a new salvager? Or one of those Khoonda cantina rats coming here to complain? Well, we don't need another one. Look around this camp. We got the salvaging more than covered. I'm gonna give you some advice. Turn back. There's nothing you're gonna find. Because anything valuable in the ruins was carted away months ago. The only salvagers left are either desperate, ornery, or not right in the head. And while you look dirty enough to be here, I don't think you're any of those things. So go back to Kunda. If you're not going to listen to anybody, maybe you can help me out. The only place that has anything is the sublevel. And only a couple of fools had gone there. And they're now dead fools. I'd like to do the decent thing and get their bodies and put them to rest. That hole isn't a fit place for a salvager. So, if you find a couple human corpses down there, just grab their gear and their bodies. I'll pay you 500 credits for each of them. Us salvagers that are still here have to stick together. I've been here the longest. and I'll be here last. I buy Jedi salvage from the ruins. Slow business now, but I get by. Sometimes I sell them to visitors like yourself. Besides, that's none of your flaming business. You should have let me know you're a customer instead of letting me think you're some disease-ridden salvager. Let me show you what I've got.
Yes? Have you come with questions? That crystal is bonded to you. Through you, it acquires its character and strength. And through it, your power is enhanced. Is there something else you wished? That crystal, should your power increase or your resolve change, speak to me. Is there something else? Yes? That crystal, should your power, is there something else you would?
I shall make this one see. Sit back.
Who are we missing? We're one off.
We're missing Jorran. I don't see Jorran.
That runt of a Cathhound, he's the one with the backpack. Did anybody grab anything from the room? Anybody? What do you want? I managed to get this sad lot of salvagers to work together. Then we get 2 rooms into the sublevel, and we get swarmed by laigreks. And even then we fight our way out. But of course, the only one that managed to grab the salvage is still in there. I don't even know why I bothered. Nothing. Find out for yourself. I'm not interested in training the competition. Now, if you don't mind, we're going someplace you can't eavesdrop on us, and get down to our business.
Let's settle this.
How may I serve? My life is yours.
Everyone down!
How may I serve?
I hear you.
I am an historian and scientist working for the Republic, although I'm certain my contemporaries would judge me more a historian than scientist. Like you, I was looking for some trace of the Jedi. I had heard mention that one of the Jedi Masters had gone there, but I found no trace of them. The other reason was the ruins of the Jedi Enclave, and once I arrived, I felt it was necessary to stay, to protect what was left. Much had been taken from the Enclave, both by raiders and others. I wished to preserve what I could. Many artifacts were taken from the Enclave, but these thefts, they had to have been done by someone who knew the Enclave well. I suspect the Jedi themselves took the holocrons and records, but I do not know why. Someone has been taking holocrons from sites across the galaxy. It is almost as if someone does not want their knowledge used to find the Jedi. The situation on Dantooine is echoed in other places in the galaxy. Raiders, smugglers, all seek to plunder what remains of the Jedi, and even the Sith. More so than the Jedi themselves, I fear the loss of their history. Much has been forgotten in recent wars, and I fear that greater troubles shall stem from that loss of knowledge in the future. The destruction of the Academy on Ossus near the Kron Drift in the Sith War, the teachings of Master Arca, the adventures of Jolee Bindo on the Rimward missions. All of these things are in danger of being lost forever. What else would you like to know? No. It is something of a mystery why they would exile themselves as they have. It is not the way of the Jedi to vanish in such a way, especially when the Republic is in need of them. I fear that there is something else at work, something that we cannot see. Then again, perhaps the Jedi are hiding simply because so many people hate them these days. It is difficult sometimes for the Jedi to see such things, since much of it is rooted in human nature, and the Jedi are often removed from events of daily life, insulated. But the reason the Jedi Civil War was named such was because few in the galaxy can recognize the difference between the Sith and the Jedi. To them, they are both Jedi, with different philosophies. Not always. Jedi often fall. They cause much harm on Onderon, for example, in the name of peace and protection. Uleg Keldroma and Exile Khoon, the two Dark Lords during the Sith War many decades ago, were once Jedi Knights, as were Revan and Malak. It is perhaps more amazing that some still trust Jedi after many have fallen and endangered the galaxy. It is also proof that a single Force wielder can change the face of the galaxy. And that is a frightening thing indeed. Hate? No. I do not hate them. They only raise questions without answers. Jedi are not supposed to be like the rest of us. They are supposed to see a higher purpose in all things. And they are supposed to train students responsibly and well, so mistakes of the past are not repeated. Yet all I saw was ignorance and arrogance, and what those seeds created in the Republic. It is difficult to follow the Jedi Code when so few others have, but you know this. Many Jedi defied the Order during the Mandalorian Wars, and it paved the way for the Jedi Civil War. There is no blame. All must accept. But, at its core, one must wonder if it was the Jedi teachings or the teachers themselves. Many of the Jedi Council trained Exile Khoon, Ulig, Revan, and Malak. How could they not see the danger they posed? And if they could not, perhaps there was some essential part of their teachings that was flawed. Something beyond the Jedi Code that they were missing. I am not certain you understand what happened with Revan. Do you wish me to explain? Revan was captured in the middle of the Jedi Civil War, due in no small part to his apprentice Malak, who turned on him. Revan was brought before the Jedi Council and put on trial. You must understand that the situation was desperate, and the Jedi needed to know how Revan had amassed the forces arrayed against them. As I understand it, they were able to convince Revan to have a change of heart. Revan helped the Republic defeat Malak. Perhaps in his conversation with the Jedi Masters, they were able to convince him of the rightness of their actions. Revan had many masters. Zar, Dorak, Master K before K left for the wars. Towards the end of his training, he sought out many to learn techniques. It is said that he returned to his first master at the end of his training, in order to learn how he might best leave the Order. What else would you like to know? I'm trying to save the Republic. Dantooine and the Jedi Order are instrumental to that effort. Despite the troubles of the Jedi Civil War, there are those among the Republic who still favor the Jedi and wish them to return. And there are admirals within the fleet who recognize that the Jedi must be found if the Republic is to hold together. Yet as long as Onderon remains within the Republic, and the efforts on Telos succeed, that is all that matters. The Republic is fragile right now. Telos is important because its success will determine whether or not the other dead worlds receive the same reconstruction. If Telos is rebuilt and made habitable again, it will affect a string of worlds along the rim. Onderon, strangely enough, was unaffected by the Jedi Civil War. It's almost as if Revan didn't want to attack it. Its resources and position on the rim make it a vital supply line and guard post against outer rim attacks. Also, it's the only world in the Republic still capable of seeding ecosystems into other dead worlds. Onderon's wildlife is some of the most aggressive in the known galaxy. Merely placing some of those beasts on target worlds will guarantee their habitation for years to come. The Jedi are a symbol. As much damage as their reputation took during the Sith War and the Jedi Civil War, there are still many who they serve as an example. Plus, there have been times in the past where a single Jedi has been enough to change the face of a world, or a galaxy. I suppose I still believe that might be possible. Despite the betrayal of many of the Jedi against the Republic, I must concede that as figureheads, they do serve a vital role. What else would you like to know? I imagine in your travels of the galaxy you've seen many people. Faces tend to blur together after a time. What else would you like to know? I do not know if you are aware of how fragile the Republic is at the moment. Its influence is stretched thin, and it grows weaker with time. The Jedi Civil War brought much suffering to the galaxy, and the forces that Malak and Revan amassed against us seemed limitless. Many worlds were destroyed, trade routes disrupted, and the Republic fleet was almost decimated. It was almost the end. But at that last year, the year before Revan vanished, Revan's assault on the Republic stopped. No one knows why. But it was all that saved the Republic. The fleet the Sith had amassed was no more, and the remaining Sith turned on each other, destroying the Academy on Korriban. It did not matter. Revan had already won. The war was costly, and it shattered the Republic. In time, the Republic might recover, but if a threat strikes now, if certain key worlds are not held, then the Republic will collapse. What else would you like to know? Before you go, I had a question for you. You came to Dantooine in search of Jedi. Why? A Force bond? What do you mean? I'm not sure I understand. No. I thought I had heard mention of such connections in some of the holocrons, but I do not possess them. They are part of the holocrons that were taken from the Enclave. I know some of what you speak. It is said that when a Jedi and Padawan establish a close connection, that they can feel each other across distances and coordinate their movements in battle. The intensity of the connection varies. That bonding is said to also be something that manifests itself in such techniques as Bastila's battle meditation, the ability to touch the minds of others, to demoralize or inspire them. It is also said that moments of death or near death may also cause such bonds. The stronger one is in the Force, the stronger the connection. I've never heard of a bond being lethal. I suppose such a thing is possible. I had not truly believed Bastila's battle meditation until I had seen it in action. Thoughts, actual communication and words. A bond often causes a sensation to be passed along it, such as extreme fear and pain. Still, I have seen Jedi who have the ability to communicate with aliens and beasts. It is a rare thing, Perhaps telepathy is one such talent. I do not know. I do not know who has taken them. If we were to find them, perhaps I could help you find the answers you need. If you would have me, I can apply my knowledge and skills to helping you find the answers you seek.
Look, we're already full up. We don't need anyone else. We travel light.
Just say the word.
someone out there? Anybody? Help! Laigreks are everywhere! Help me! I'm trapped in here! Yes, I am. I locked the door in here. I thought I was gonna be laigrek compost. Did you take care of him, stranger? You must be fierce with a blaster, then. Give me a moment. I sort of jammed the door a bit. Just don't...
Thanks for saving me. I thought those laigreks had me for sure. Oh, what do I know about moisture vaporators? Well, I told him I wasn't sure if it would work or not.
This man lies.
Hey, can we please talk about this later when we're not in danger of being eaten by laigreks? Sorry, I gotta go. You can meet me in the salvager camp.
Braved the perils of the sublevel, yes. Many stories and artifacts in your possession. This is fortuitous for myself and associates. For now, not only do I get rich salvage, but an even richer bounty. Do not be making this difficult. Your death can be quite painless. Negotiations are not possible. A deal has been made with anxious people. People you do not cross. And now, Jedi, we shall fight.
Everyone down!
feel much better now, thanks to you. I don't think I thanked you properly down there. I was pretty shaken. I found a few Jedi Artifacts down in the sublevels. I was planning on selling them to Darala, but I'll sell them to you if you want them instead. I sold Sulru the moisture vaporator in the same condition it was in when I found it. All right. Darala got there before me, and she just took the modulator because she was loaded down with the other stuff that Sulru abandoned. But after I sold the farmer back his moisture vaporator, I won the modulator from Darala in a game of stones. Finders keepers. I've got a permit that allows me to salvage anything on the Enclave grounds. I didn't make up the laws here, but I abide by them all the same. You're a bit demanding, aren't you? If you want the modulator, I'll sell it to you for 500 credits, the same price I offered to Sulru. Okay, here's the modulator, and thanks for saving my life. But do me a favor, don't ask for any more favors. Back again, huh? I don't know what more I can say to you, but it's nice to see you again, regardless. I found 3 things down there. One's some sort of crystal, and the others look like lightsaber parts. If you give me 1,000 credits, you can have it all. That'll be enough for me to get off this rock. No returns on this, you're stuck with what you buy. Doesn't work that way. Maybe it's worth a lot more than 1,000 credits and you make off real good. Maybe it's a lot less and I make off good. Just don't take too long. Back again, huh? But it's nice to see you again. It was all Tapale's fault. She said the entryway to the sublevel was safe enough. That area has hardly been explored. We barely got in there. Then everybody started going left and right, grabbing anything they could. It was every man for himself and nobody was watching for laigreks. Then, before you know it, we were under attack by those beasts. So salvagers were running every which way and they left me to die. All the easy pickings have been picked. Now everything that's worth more than a glass of Juma juice is long gone. So the sublevel is about the only place that's left. And as you might have noticed, it's very dangerous down there. Almost nobody's managed to get anything from down there. Not that it matters. Nothing gets by you, huh? There was a group that managed to get in and got one of the best hauls ever. Tapale said we could do that too, but they were a damn sight more organized than we were. They've caused more problems dead than they ever did alive. They were the first to really get anything from this damn level. They were so confident they went right back in. A bunch of us salvagers waited by the entrance. Only 2 of the 4 came back, and 1 died right away from his wounds. The other man was gonna be rich, but then he picked a fight with Garvik. It wasn't much of a fight. Then there was no one left. And that's the whole problem. Well, since every last one of them is dead, their find is sitting in the militia's headquarters. That's one of the biggest claims ever, and they won't give it if they were owed by the dead salvagers, or that they're related. But Zeron isn't an idiot. The only thing he's gonna believe is a will. And after some tried to ask less than authentic ones off on him, now he'll only take a will and their personal effects. She was playing you for a fool. No doubt she'd like to find those bodies. That plus a conveniently worded will, and she'd make a pile of credits. Probably not, since you know the truth. Unless you're willing to make a fake will, though, the truth won't help. You look like the type of moron that'll just turn it into Zeron. That may be the right thing to do, but it don't make it the smart thing. Whatever you want to know, I owe you. I think I was the only one that managed to find anything worth something down there. I found 3 things. If you give me... I'll hold on to it. Back again, huh? But it's nice to see you. I found 3 things down. If you give me... Now I can finally get passage back home. I Hope that junk is worth it to you, I really do. Come back anytime. It'll take me a while to get everything set straight.
It's you again. Well, you know who I am. I figure you want something. Some of the salvagers went deep into the ruins and found a lot of Jedi relics. But all the salvagers, the whole thing makes me sick. But that was a fair fight. I just hope someone you want some. I don't have anything to say about that. We can talk more later. It's you. You want some. I'll tell you what I tell all those grubby salvagers. No body, no claim. I'm no longer even looking at wills or credit notes. And if you think that's gruesome, then go space yourself. Let me see the will. I'll be glad to get rid of this claim and get those salvagers out of my headquarters. He left all his possessions to one of the other dead salvagers. Will I ever get rid of that damn Jedi garbage? Guess nobody gets them now. The Administrator will have to figure out what happens to them. And until then, the salvagers are gonna keep bothering me.
Hello there. All right, stay.
I hope that you haven't run into any difficulties you couldn't deal with. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
Any luck on getting my modulator back from Jorran? I don't think anyone here will be able to help me. Fantastic! I'd only hoped to get the modulator back. I never imagined you would get my money back, too. How did you do it? Really? You must have been very persuasive. I'm relieved this situation is finally resolved. You have more than earned this reward. Thanks for the help. I plan on going back to the farm shortly.
A lot of people hate Jedi, but when they were here, they tried helping us.
Welcome back to Khoonda.
It's you again. Well, you want some...
Halt, settler. This is a restricted area. How the hell did you get through the Kinrath? You should leave. This isn't kidnapping, this is bounty hunting. This Jedi is worth a lot of credits on Nar Shaddaa, and we're collecting. I'm gonna say this nice and simple for your little calf-hurting head. Unless you want to wind up dead, leave now. What? That's a Jedi trick. We trained against that during the war. It's a Jedi, man. Kill her before she tries something else.
Let's settle this.
Always rushing into action without thinking of the consequences. What? You're expecting thanks? Khoonda is in danger, and you've ruined the best chance of averting a full-scale conflict. Is this a joke to you? People's lives are at stake. Every action has consequences, no matter how small or insignificant they seem. And even the smallest choice has the potential for harm. The Mandalorian Wars was proof of this. Intentions mean nothing if a greater tragedy is caused. I need to get to Kunda and warn them. They could be attacked at any moment. If you wish to prove yourself, then do so. Kunda's in danger and they need our help. The Mercenaries have allied themselves with the Exchange and are planning to attack Kunda. They've been holding off for the right moment, and now since they lost their captive Jedi, they'll attack immediately. I'm going to try to reach Administrator Adare. Time is of the essence.
You are the Jedi I've heard reports of, and I am Azkul, leader of the Mercenaries on Dantooine. That is correct, and I want you to help me. According to my reports, I have 4 times as many soldiers as the militia, and I'm committed to taking Kunda. It is inevitable that I will succeed. If you wish to avoid my men eradicating the people of Dantooine, you will make it easier for me to take Kunda. Of course, I will pay well for your services. You'd better reconsider. I can't have a Jedi interfering with my plans. There is a considerable bounty on your kind that I will collect on unless you're working for me. Men, I trust you can handle this Jedi.
Time to... Take you down to side.
Zeron was right about the mercenaries all along. I guess my...
I see you have found the elusive Master Vrook. He's told me that his rescue complicated our situation to some degree. I can't say that I anticipated that. I thank you for finding him, though. Vrook has informed me that the mercenaries devised a plan of attack to annihilate Kunda itself. I must ask for your aid again, Jedi. Zeron says that even with a plan, the mercenaries have to gather their forces, then coordinate their assault. So we still have time. I'm afraid the militia has not been adequately trained for the task that befalls them. Here is a MasterCard key that will open all of the security doors inside Kunda. Anything that might aid you in your task, please use. Soon, all the civilians will be evacuated. So if you have any business with them, I suggest you take care of it. Whenever you are ready to finalize the defenses, talk with Zeron.
How may I serve?
What's going on?
How may I serve?
Let's go.
Thanks, stranger. I should be back to duty in no time.
worries me.
Thanks for the help. I plan on going back to the farm shortly.
I was right about you. You are trouble. But you might just be the right sort of trouble we need. The mercenaries aren't quick to mobilize, so you have time to do what you need. Or are you ready to finalize the defense plans? We could use people handy with a blaster. Getting people to join the militia for a short stint would be good. We also got a lot of things that could use fixing. It isn't glamorous, but that type of work sometimes makes a load of difference. Just look around. Plenty to be done. Off the top of my head, the 3 turrets outside Kunda are on the blink. They went haywire the other day and wounded some of my men, so we took them offline. The men who were wounded by the turrets are holed up in the med lab, but our medic droid is busted, so they're healing slowly. I've had some men lay traps around Kunda, but nobody here really specializes in demolitions. I'm sure there's some gaps that could be filled. The side security door to Kunda has been malfunctioning as long as I've been here. It may be best to just seal it off lockdown so nobody gets through. We got some broken assault droids that have been collecting dust for the last 5 years. If they were working, it would help a lot with interior defense. If I had it my way, I'd recruit any citizen of Kunda that can hold a blaster. But it's hard to convince peaceful farmers to fight, maybe die for a cause. When you're ready, come back and we can talk about the final plans to defend Kunda.
Thanks for the help. I plan on going back to the farm shortly. Since you're asking me, I suppose I could. I figure I still owe you for helping me with my thief problem. Zeron has asked me several times before to join the militia, so I expect he's going to be very pleased.
In Soranaka me gunsoji, nekchi unabola mochi wataton, sobodono biselchamaka. Jenish melaka wachino so impos morcha chani rikasan. Wala kun bisking mo pal muliras nemo poituana. Tin mipa,
A lot of people here hate Jedi. But when they were here, they tried helping us.
Welcome back to...
What do you want now? Yeah, I guess so. I'm not too fond of my job, but it's better than the job I'd have if the Mercs took over. I'll report to Zeron for militia duty.
C'era un osso remina che l'orecto guru kattada. Fiora tora pada no ringatel camarada tela fibu nubu da veterana cenirara. C'era nana gundoso remina che l'orecto guru kattada. Fiora tora pada no ringatel camarada tela fibu nubu da veterana cenirara. Teriwana jung konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinto run kawre kare papanala ranshinga. Terace wemeno toto rere senisensen. Der rinto run to wakare kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan korsodara nane gra dall'onuta choloren. Teriwana jung konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinto run kawre kare papanala ranshinga. Terace wemeno toto rere senisensen. Der rinto to wakare kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan korsodara nane gra dall'onuta choloren. Teriwana jung konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinto run kawre kare papanala ranshinga. Terace wemeno toto rere senisensen. Der rinto to wakare kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan korsodara nane gra dall'onuta choloren.
Yes?
I don't suppose you're here to hire us. It's been a long time since we've had a paying job. Some of us are getting jumpy. What if we do? They're practically begging to be pushed around. You've seen them, right? They're weak. You sound like a flaming Jedi. I didn't just mean their weapons. I meant their character. They're very quick to blame everyone but themselves for their problems. So the galaxy has dealt them a bad hand. They should ante up and get back in the game. The Administrator is different.
Can I help you? Can I help you? Just trying to make it. It's no glamour.
The warrior returns. Getting tired. Stay out of our way.
Who is that? Oh, it's you. I heard you turned in the corpses to Zeron. What a waste. You could have been rich, you fool.
Back again, huh? I don't know what more I can say to you, but it's nice to see you again, regardless. I hadn't even thought of that. I know the militia will take just about anyone. I need the credits and would like working with people who'll actually watch your back. Well, I want to think it through, but I think I might just go to Khoonda and sign up. Thanks for the idea.
Jorran says you saved him down there. Next time you should ask for a reward.
How may I serve?
Let's go.
My life is...
Hear you.
My life is
Just
yours.
say the word.
I was right about you. You are the mercenaries aren't quick to move. That's good to hear. Fill me in on the details when you're ready to finalize our battle plans. You sure? Once we're done with that, there may not be any time left before the mercenaries attack. All right. And we got a lot to do.
Since you are here to bolster Kunda's defense, I will hurry to the mercenary camp and delay their assault however I can.
I imagine that the mercenaries have got two goals in this whole thing. Kill me and kill the Administrator. The rest of the settlers won't have courage to resist if they succeed. The Administrator's locked up in her office tight, which means that the mercs have to go through us and Kunda's defenses. Thanks to you, they're gonna have a tougher job. That's about it. Now we just need to dig in and wait for the mercs to come. Well, I'll tell them what's there to do. I'm not much for words. All right, I'll assemble the men. I hope you can speak good. I don't have the words. That was really something. I think any one of them would take a blaster bolt for you now. Let's get ready for the mercenaries. If we fall here, all of Dantooine falls with us.
So you're the Jedi. I take it you are responsible for the surprises we've had during this battle. Stand aside. Our quarrel is with a distinguished administrator. This isn't your problem. Is that supposed to convince me, Jedi? I was trained by Sith. My unit killed many Jedi. I'll give you one last chance. Leave the Administrator to her fate. Then you've allied with these flaming settlers. The galaxy doesn't tolerate weakness. I was trained at Malak's Academy. Your tricks won't work on me. You're just another dead Jedi to me.
I didn't sign on for this cold-blooded slaughter, Azkul.
I was wondering when you would betray me, Dopak. I'll send your final wages to your children, along with a detonator.
Sorry I was held up, but it looks like I've arrived in time to pull you out of your predicament.
Kill them all.
Thank you so much for your aid. You can be sure that Dantooine will not forget how the Jedi protected us from this threat. We are a humble community, and this conflict has greatly diminished our resources. I hope this reward will be sufficient. I am humbled by your generosity. I will put this to good use. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much work to do. Dantooine will be slow to rebuild, but I am confident now that we will one day achieve prosperity.
Kunda is safe in no small part due to you. I feel certain that the Administrator wouldn't have made it without you. I may have misjudged you. In any case, I am free to talk about whatever you wish. There are a few of us left, but I do not even know if the others still live. We may be the last. We've been forced to divide our forces and retreat to places which will be difficult for our enemies to detect and attack. We have chosen to hide our presences from each other, so that the discovery of one will not endanger the others. We cannot, and we have resolved not to until we have found where the Sith are striking from. But even as our numbers thin, there is still no trace of them. We had hoped to outmaneuver them. By letting them believe themselves victorious, we thought they would become bold and step from the shadows. Then, all of us who remained vowed to meet here on Dantooine. From here, we can plan a course of action and carry the battle to them. But so far, they remain in hiding, and Jedi continue to vanish and die. You have more questions for me? We are at war, but it is unlike any war we have fought before. We have yet to even meet our attackers in battle. Somehow our enemy is targeting us through the Force, striking, then retreating to the shadows. The gathering of any Jedi seems to attract them like a beacon. So it was necessary to divide our forces and conceal ourselves for a time until we could learn more of this threat. Great tragedies, old battlegrounds. Places of suffering all leave wounds on the galaxy and in the Force. In such places, the deaths of so many echo. So much so that it is difficult to center oneself. By coming here, those echoes serve to mask my presence, allowing me to investigate the ruins and try to find some clues as to who our attackers are. The Miraluka world of Qatar taught us a terrible lesson. Many Jedi gathered there in an attempt to use the Force to find the location of the enemy. Now the planet is no more. Master Zar, Master Dorak, and many more perished there, and we do not know why or how. But all life on the planet ceased to exist. I was not on Qatar when it was destroyed, but now that it is dead, it has left its echo, like Dantooine. It was after Qatar that the few of us left realized that wherever we gathered, we were placing others in danger, not just Jedi. You have more questions for me? We were not in hiding, despite what you believe. This threat is striking through the Force. There's a reason that we cannot detect it. It is somehow masking its presence from us. I do not know. There are techniques in the Force that hide one's presence and thoughts from other Force users. But I do not believe that such techniques alone would be capable of hiding the enemies we face. It does not seem possible. You have more questions for me? Because you defied the Council and followed Revan to war. And from that war came another. Do you know how many worlds were destroyed in those wars? Dantooine, Telos, Sirocco? Do you see now why we counseled caution instead of action? You were the only one to come back and face judgment. But that was because you had lost your connection to the Force. Another casualty of war. No doubt you still blame us for your exile. I had hoped your isolation would give you time to reflect on what had happened, what you had done. But I see it as not. You have more questions for me? We did nothing to you. Accuse us if you will, but it will not change the truth. Cutting one off from the Force. Such punishments are reserved for only a few. Although it was within our power, we did not inflict such a loss upon you. Your loss was a casualty of war, no more. Perhaps that is a question you should ask yourself. It is not something I could help you with, even if I wanted to. Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not feel such from you. I feel nothing but what I felt in the Council Judgment Chamber on Coruscant so long ago. Still, you and your connections were often a subject of debate in the Council. It is possible that returning to known space, journeying with others, has caused the Force to stir within you again. Do you have more questions for me? Force bonds? Yes. It is the bond that grows between master and student. Are you saying you have bonded with another? Such bonds normally grant strength to both, but not to such a degree. Are you certain? Perhaps it is merely what you believe. Still, your ability to form such connections, to influence others, was always a subject of discussion, even when you were a student here. Perhaps it is a punishment of a sort. But a bond that ties two lives together, such bonds do not seem natural to me. And with your loss of connection to the Force, it seems such a connection would be impossible. Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not feel such from you. I feel nothing but what I felt in the Council Judgment Chamber on Coruscant so long ago. Still, you and your connections were often a subject of debate in the Council. It is possible that returning to known space, journeying with others, has caused the Force to stir within you again. Do you have more questions for me? Have they? I've seen no evidence of them upon Dantooine. Only murderers and raiders. Why would they attack you? You are no Jedi. You cannot feel the Force. For some reason, I believe you. Still, I am curious as to how they would know to find you. Your trial was not public knowledge. Regardless, these Sith have struck, and you survived. This is more knowledge than I had before. And that means the Jedi may gather. If you can find others, or find some trace of the Sith threat, then we shall gather here on Dantooine. And from there we may decide what can be done. Do you have more questions for me? Suppose there is something I should show you. It will keep you alive long enough to prove useful. I'm only going to demonstrate this once. This is the Sheen form, a defensive stance that's good when you're outnumbered, which is most of the time. This form will increase your ability to deflect blaster fire, and it increases the odds of dealing strikes against your attackers. I don't know how you learned that so quickly. Still, your form is sloppy. Keep practicing to tighten it up and you'll be fine.
Thanks for your help with the Mercenaries. I hope someday I'll be able to return the favor.
You are always welcome here, Jedi.
It was pretty brave of you to stand up to Azkul like that. Your resolve made me finally take action against him. I'm happy to hear that. I really am. Thanks again, and good luck to you. Thanks again, and good luck to you.
Zeron was right about the Mercenaries all along. I guess my ego clouded my judgment as to what's best for Kunda.
That was some intense fighting. I'm glad we both made it through. The Mercenaries didn't.
Charanana gundoso remina ke lorak tu guru katpada. Fiaurator pada no ringatel camarada tel fibu nubu de veterana chenirara.
Back again, huh? I don't know what more I can say to you, but it's nice to see you again, regardless. I'm still thinking about it. I probably will, though. I certainly could use a few more credits, and if the militia will have me, well, that would be something. Back again, huh? But it's nice to see you. I'm still...
The more worlds we travel to, the more questions I have. It's not just the hardships of the people, but something more. You are right, but there is something more at work here. Yes, these dead worlds, they have a pattern to them. They were all touched by the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War. But sometimes, well, I feel as if they are all connected in some other way. The attacks on Qatar, Telos itself, the decay on Dantooine. Something is wrong with life. The connections have been damaged, sickened. Sometimes I feel like I almost understand, and then it just slips away.
So close.
No, I do not. I do think there is some greater plan at work here. Perhaps. Dantooine is only one of the worlds. It was only the start of the journey. Would like to study the other locations. It is curious that the Jedi Masters chose those worlds to travel to. I wonder if the two are linked, but I know not how.
there something you wish to do for me? As anxious as I. The fact we are even, and of course, I am willing to Now.
There is something I have observed, and now I feel I must say it. I have found your presence to be inspiring. With your growth in the Force, you seem to have found your center, and throughout the dangers we face, you remain calm and focused. I understand now why others followed you to war. Perhaps that is what leadership is, and it is something I have seen in only a few during my travels. In any event, it has been some time since I traveled with a Jedi, nor one so firmly upon the path. I wanted to thank you. I fear the stories that were spoken of you have misrepresented you, and if I have the opportunity, I shall reverse them whenever they arise. Very well. Then I shall keep my favorable opinions to myself. That is hardly surprising. What do you wish to know? You are correct. I am afraid I have not entirely open with you concerning my past. If I look familiar, it is because we have met before, at the Enclave on Dantooine, many years ago. As on Coruscant, Force-sensitive children are taken to Dantooine as well, though it is done rarely and only with those they believe are destined to become Jedi Knights. It is the secret nature of the place. If you are not chosen by a master when you have come of age, however, then the path of the Jedi is denied to you. I met you on Dantooine, long ago, briefly. You taught us the ways of combat, how to hear music within the movements of a lightsaber blade. It is difficult to explain the difference between you and Master Vrook, but I think it is because he was knowledgeable, but not a leader, not a mentor. You were different. We could all feel it. And I knew that if I were to have a master, I would want it to be you. And then you went to war. Many Jedi went to war, and the Jedi Masters proclaimed that you were Jedi no longer. Atris, the mistress of the Archives, was first among them. I knew at that moment that if you would no longer be a Jedi, then you must be correct. I realized I did not want to be a Jedi. Instead, I wished to follow your path, and in any event, there was no one to train me even if I wished it. They all went to war as I grew past the age of acceptance. It is possible to forget the Force, you know. If you have not felt it strongly enough, then there is little to miss. But I never felt the Force as strongly as I did when I was with you. And so I decided to serve the Republic, study the Jedi teachings, gather them perhaps. It was important to me to understand the Jedi now that they were gone. I felt some part of you should be preserved, so that your lessons would not be lost. Perhaps. I still harbor doubts about the path I walked. It is not time, if there ever is a time. Many Jedi went to go fight in the Mandalorian Wars, and few returned. To their disciples left behind on Dantooine, on Coruscant, there were few masters to train them. I was one such student. Perhaps not as strong in the Force as the others, but it really did not matter. The teachers left behind were few. Only a few students were accepted as the Mandalorian Wars raged on, and when I came of age, there were no masters left to train me. So I was forced to leave the Order, to seek my path elsewhere. It was for the best, I think. I had begun to have doubts, and I think the masters were aware of them. Never. I have seen you, traveled with you. My life was mine, not chained to yours. Your apologies are not needed or warranted. I chose not to follow the Jedi, and the choice was my own. Forgive me, but there is something I must ask. In my study of the Jedi histories and the more contemporary records, I have heard tales of a Jedi who was exiled. You are that Jedi. but the records are somewhat evasive on why this was done. I wanted to discuss why you chose to leave the Jedi Order and accept exile. I see. And because you went to war, they cast you out? Do you have a record of this trial? Perhaps I shall examine it when I get the chance, with your permission. I appreciate your trust. I have studied the holorecord of your trial. I am unsure what to make of it. I must confess that I was searching for some meaning beyond the records, a reason for why one would leave the Order. Yes, but exile is rare, and I have found it is not really something that the Order can enforce. Believe it or not, it was really your choice. I don't think so. Perhaps some of them felt strongly about your sentence, but I think something else concerned them. Again, the choice to turn away was yours, not theirs. Because I, too, turned away from the Order, under less extreme circumstances, perhaps, but stemming from the same reasons. I'm not certain I do, either, but it is something worth considering. Because I too... Then I shall speak no more of it. Yes? Is something wrong? At times I meditate, simply close my eyes and listen. It is quite calming. I try to treasure these moments before the next crisis begins. Of course, it would be my pleasure. I try to treasure these moments before the next crisis begins. That is hardly surprising. What do you wish to know? I think you are right. It is time. I have watched you. You have become strong in the Force again. But that is not all. You have achieved a center in the chaos around us, and I have felt it, my master. The one intended for me. Left to fight in the Mandalorian Wars. Now she has returned. And I ask her now if she will train me in the ways of the Force. The one who was to be my master was lost at Malachor 5.
So it ends.
I want you to teach me the ways of the Force. To become a Jedi Knight. What I meant to be.
I wanted to say thanks for what you showed me on Nar Shaddaa. It's gonna take some time to let it sink in, but thanks. I feel alive. It's strange, but it feels right somehow, like a piece inside me just clicked into place. Talk. Why, you trying to be my mom? No thanks. Go ahead and ask.
Yes? Is something wrong? That is hardly surprising. What do you wish to know? not much remains of the Jedi. I'm trying to find what little does remain. There are so many histories, relics, holocrons that speak of their teachings and their code. I fear that unless someone makes an effort to find and keep them, lost forever. Because I fear that unless the Jedi teachings are preserved, we will lose the galaxy. And because, whatever my feelings for the Order, they do not extend to preserving their knowledge. No, not their lore, their histories, but their masters, their teachers, perhaps. I have tried to keep an open mind about their practices, but I have seen the Republic scarred too many times by their students. That is a truth I cannot deny. It is sometimes difficult to see that side as I walked upon Dantooine, but I will consider what you have said. There is another side to their efforts and their teaching that I sometimes forget. I'm trying to save the Republic. Dantooine and the Jedi Order are instrumental to that effort. Despite the troubles of the Jedi Civil War, there are those among the Republic who still favor the Jedi and wish them to return. And there are admirals within the fleet who recognize that the Jedi must be found if the Republic is to hold together. Yet as long as Onderon remains within the Republic, and the efforts on Telos succeed, that is all that matters. That is hardly surprising. What do you wish to know?
Me? Something.
Shasa achuto gonkura. Nakaprota gocha, jarkomat. Kokparodunga nimisindo shoka. Mushka me turundi. Juba me mesing. Ratzakman rata. No, na.
Of course. It would be my pleasure.
Meditation envy?
Why don't you go sit on a rocket?
Calm down. What is your problem?
I don't want to talk about it.
Alright, you know, Atten, sometimes it's no wonder you can't figure yourself out the way you lie to yourself all the time. I've hunted a lot of people in my line of work, but I never met someone who wants to get lost more than you do. I've got a pretty good idea why, but not the whole picture. I will, though. My advice? Come clean before I find out. And stop watching her. She's got enough problems.
Do you need a hand?
No, I don't. Go back to your training. I'll call you if I need someone useless.
Is there some problem? I was only offering to help.
Problem? No, no problem. Just wondering how long you're planning to stick around.
For as long as she needs me, of course.
How heroic of you. Well, she doesn't need you. In fact, we were doing just fine until you showed up.
Actually, there are times when it seems you could use some help.
Always with the details, aren't you? You can't fool me. You have some agenda. Spying on her, always keeping your eye on her.
No, I don't. I simply admire her. She has many qualities worthy of respect, and a strength that matches her beauty. Surely you've noticed.
Yeah, and I noticed first. Get it? So cut it out. And another thing, stop being all noble around her in your big hero way. She sees right through your little act. She likes honest guys, not guys who run around being unselfish and heroic all the time.
I thought she was the hero. Is there? Must be hearing things, but for a moment.
Yes, General?
Yes? Have you come with questions? That crystal is bonded to you. Through you, it acquires its character and strength. And through it, your power is enhanced. Something else you... That crystal is bonded. Should your power... Is there something else?
So you've returned. While I was disturbed that you chose to defy our orders and obtain transport off Citadel Station, the matter has since been closed. It was the decision of Republic authorities that your testimony would no longer be necessary, and thus you'd be allowed to go. But as we discovered, you had already left. In some ways, it was lucky for us, avoiding a possibly embarrassing situation. Why does the Republic do anything? The head doesn't know what the feet are doing. The hands don't even know they've got fingers, let alone where they are. My opinion, they probably performed their independent investigation and figured it wasn't your fault. Anyways, you should just be glad I decided to overlook the fact you escaped arrest. Yeah. And if there's nothing to do... So you've returned. What is it?
Jedi. Betrayer. All thoughts of me will slide from your vision, from your mind, like water. You know who I am, but you will be unable to voice it, to remember it. What does a Jedi see? Only what I allow them to see.